Chapter 4. Negotiable Instruments. 12 to Pier 9. Butte Pupt. Definition of negotiable instruments. According to Section 13 of the Negotiable Instruments Act, 1881, a negotiable instrument means a promissory note, a bill of exchange, or check, payable either to order or to bearer. Types of negotiable instruments. 1. Promissory note. 2. Bill of exchange. 3. Checks. Features of promissory note, pronotes. Meaning of promissory note. According to Section 4 of the Negotiable Instruments Act, 1881 defines a promissory note as an instrument in writing, order containing an unconditional undertaking, signed by maker, to pay a certain sum of money, only to the order of a certain person or to the bearer of the instrument. 10,000 rupees per. New Delhi, September 25, 2003. On demand, I promise to pay Ramesh. Order a sum of 10,000 rupees per. Rupees 10,000 only, for value received. To Ramesh. Address. SDL Sanjeev. Stamp. Specimen. Paga. The features of promissory note are: 1. A promissory note must be in writing, duly signed by its maker and properly per Indian Stamp Act stamped as. 2. It must contain and promise to pay. For example, if someone writes I owe 5,000 rupees per to Prakash, it is not a promissory note. 3. The promise to pay must be unconditional. For example, if I promise to give Prakash 5,000 rupees after my sister's marriage, it is not promissory note. 4. It must contain a promise to pay money only. For example, I promise to give Prakash a mantikar, it is not promissory note. 5. The parties to a promissory note, i.e., the maker and the payer, must be certain. 6. A promissory note may be payable on demand or certain date. WPUMCD. Features of Bill of Exchange. Trade definition of Bill of Exchange. Sunith. According to Section 5 of the Negotiable Instruments Act, 1881 defines a bill of exchange an instrument in writing containing an unconditional order, signed by the maker, directing a certain person to pay a certain sum of money only to the order of a certain person, or to the bearer of the instrument. Drawer 2. Ranjiv. Specimen. Drawee. Samir Payee Tarun. Date. 10,000 rupees per. New Delhi, September 25, 2003. Time bill. Or his orders the 5 months after paid Tarun or sum of rupees 10,000 rupee only, for valve received. 2. Accepted. Samir Tarun. Address. Samar. The features of Bill of Exchange are: Stamp Rajiv. J. A bill must be in writing, duly signed by its drawer, accepted by its drawee and properly stamped as per Indian Stamp Act. 2. It must contain an order to pay words, like please pay 5,000 Rs. On demand, are not used. 3. The order must be unconditional, for example. 4. The order must be to pay money, alone and money. 5. The sum payable mentioned must be certain 23,124. 6. The parties to a bill must be certain. F. The parties to a bill of exchange are the drawer, the drawee and the payer. Features of check. Meaning of check. According to Negotiable Instruments Act, 1881 defines a check as a bill of exchange drawn on a specified banker and not expressed to be payable otherwise than on demand. Actually, a check is an order by the account holder of the bank directing his banker to pay on demand the specified amount, to or to the order of the person named therein or to the banker. Date. U per millimeter, YY. Or bearer. Pay. Rupees Rs. State Bank of India, Bangalore City University, Bug 5060097. 65.3003210002056. The features of check are: a check must be in writing and dunly, signed by the drawer, and there is no requirement of stamp BLE. It is printed check. 2. It contains an unconditional order. 3. It is issued on a specified banker only. 4. The amount specified is always Korean and must be dearly mentioned both in figures and words. B. 5. The payee is always Korda in. 6. It is payable on demand. 92. Redmi no. Date. Play. Types of check. Right pointing arrow. Definition of check. The types of check are: T. Open check. 2. Crossed check. 3. Antedated chokes. 4. Stale check. 21. 5. Mutilated check. Ant as to slow eval. 1. Open check. A check is called open when the holder of check can receive its payment over the counter at the bank, the check in his own account, and deposit. 2. Crossed check. The check is called crossed when the holder of check cannot receive its payment over the counter at the bank, and it is only credited to the bank account of the payee. A fraud. To P. Check can be crossed by drawing two parallel lines. N. 3. Antedated checks. Check in which is 188 that the drawer mentions the date earlier to the date of presenting if for payment. For example, a choke issued the 20th of May 2003 may bear a date the 5th of May 2003. 4. Stale check. A check which is issued today must be presented before at bank for payment within a stipulated period. After expiry of that period, no payment will be made to, and it is called stale check. Doll. Page 5. Mutilated check. In case a check is torn in two or more pieces and presented for payment, such a check is called mutilated check. The bank will not make payment against such a check without getting confirmation of the drawer. 6. Post-dated check. Check on which drawer mentions a date which is subsequent to the date on which it is presented is called post-dated check. For example, if a check presented on the 8th of May 2003 bears a date of the 25th of May 2003, it is a post-dated choke. The bank will make payment only on or after 25th. Bibo. HROW say Distrun. May 2003. C. Bilan. Types of Hundized silk with Holber. Meaning of Hundi. Anna Hundi is a negotiable instrument by such usage. It is often in the form of a bill of exchange drawn in any local language in so accordance with the custom of the place. Sometimes it can also be in the form of a promissory note. U. Ad anelidi. The types of Hundis are Bel A. Pills 1. Shanjog Hundi Bot Solug 2. Dershani Hundi. 3. Mudati Hundi 4. Jokhemi Hundi. 5. Dani Job Hundi. Classmate. Date page. Promissory note. Bill of exchange. Meaning. Defined in Section 4 of Negotiable Instrument Act, 1881. Sections of Negotiable Instrument Act, 1881. Parties. 2 parties i.e., drawer. 3 parties i.e., drawer, drawee and payee. And pale, drawn by, debtor, creditor, can maker, no, yes, and pay be same person. Copies. Promissory note cannot be drawn in copies. Bill of exchange can be drawn in copies. Dishonor, not necessary, necessary. Page. Basis. Bill of exchange. Check. Meaning. Section 5 of the Negotiable Instrument, 1881. Defined in Section 6 of the Negotiable Instrument Act, 1881. Gross days. 3 days of grace days. Not applicable. Allowed. Acceptance. Bill of exchange needs to a check does not be accepted. require acceptance. Stamping, must be stamped, no such requirement. Crossing, no, yes. Drawee, person or bank, bank. Classmate, date, pane. Types of crossing of checks. Meaning of crossing of checks. Crossing of a check means drawing across the face of the check two parallel lines with or without the words in compi or not negotiable or account payee between the parallel lines. The types of crossing of checks are 1. General crossing. 12. Special crossing. 3. Restrictive account payee crossing. 4. Double crossing. 123. 1. General crossing. General crossing means drawing across the face of a check two parallel lines with or without the words and company or not negotiable or account paid w the parallel lines. Examples: and company, ALC, payee, not negotiable, 124. 2. Special crossing. Special crossing means writing across the face of a check the home of some banker with or without words like not negotiable or account payee. Examples: State Bank of India and County State Bank of India. All payee State Bank of India. Not negotiable State Bank of India. Page 3. Restrictive ALC payee crossing. In this, crossing checks is done by writing account payee or account payee only in between the crossing lines. Examples: ALC payer only is CC Bank. All payee only ALC pay. All pay not negotiable. 4. Double crossing. When a check bears two special crossing is called special double crossing. It is made when the banker in the second bank act as agent of the first collecting banker. It is made when the banker in whose favor the check is crossed does not have branch where the check is paid. Examples: to a CC Bank as agent of collection. Date page. Features of negotiable instruments. Definition of negotiable instruments. According to Section 13 of the Negotiable Instruments Act, 1881, a negotiable instrument means promissory note, bill of exchange, or check, payable either to order or to bearer. The features of negotiable instruments are: a negotiable instrument is freely transferable. Usually when we transfer any property to somebody, we are required to make a transfer deed, get it registered, pay stamp act duty, etc. But such formalities are not required while transferring a negotiable instrument. 2. Negotiability confers absolute and good title on the transferee. It means that a person who receives a negotiable instrument has a clear and undisputable title to the instrument. 3. A negotiable instrument must be in writing. That includes handwriting, typing, computer printout and engraving, etc. 4. The time of payment must be courtean. If the time is mentioned as when convenient, it is not a negotiable instrument. 5. In every negotiable instrument be on unconditional order payment. There must or promise for. 6. The payment negotiable instrument involve of a certain sum of money only and nothing else. F. The payee must be a certain person. It means that the person in whose favor the instrument is made must be named. 8. A negotiable instrument must bear the signature of its maker. Without the signature of its maker, the instrument shall not be a read valid one. 9. Any negotiable instrument, like a choke or a promissory note, is not complete till it is delivered to its payer. For example, you may issue a check in your brother's name, but it is not a negotiable instrument. Brother, till is given to your. 10. Stamping of bills of exchange in the promissory notes. It is mandatory. This 18 required as per the Indian Stamp Act, 1899. Data page. Kinds of endorsement. Definition of endorsement. According to Section 15 of Indian Negotiable Instruments Act of 1881, when the maker or holder of negotiable instruments signs the same on the back or face there, he is said to endorse the same, and it is called the endorser. The kinds of endorsement are t. Blank endorsement. 2. Special endorsement. 3. Restrictive endorsement. 4. Conditional endorsement. 5. Facultative endorsement. 1. Block endorsement. According to Section 16(17) of Indian Negotiable Instrument Act, if the endorser signs his name only, the end, with no endorse, the endorsement is said to be blank. 2. Special endorsement. It is also known as full endorsement. According to Section 16(1) of the Indian Negotiable Instrument Act, an instrument with a blank endorsement is converted into a special endorsement by a holder by specifying the name of an endorsee and putting his signature. 3. Restrictive endorsement. A restrictive endorsement is one which limits the further negotiation of an instrument. The endorsee in such cases cannot further transfer. 4. Conditional endorsement. An endorsement be preceded by certain condition which should have been fulfilled by the endorsement obtaining payment. That is, the endorsee's right to receive money is subject to fulfillment of a particular. 5. Facultative endorsement. It is an endorsement made whereby the endorser wires some of his rights on the instrument. Essentials of veiled endorsement. Meaning of endorsement. According to Section is of INI Act 1821, when the maker or holder of negotiable instruments signs the same on the back or face there, he is said to endorse the same, and it is called endorser. The essentials of veiled endorsement are: 1. Endorsement is on the back or face of the instrument. 2. It must be made by the maker or holder. 3. It must be for the entire negotiable instrument. 4. It must be properly signed by the endorser. 5. There is no specific form of words are necessary for the endorsement. Classmate. Date page. Rules of endorsement. Definition of endorsement. According to Section is of INI Act 1821, when the maker or holder of negotiable instruments signs the same on the back or face there, he is said to endorse the same, and it is called endorser. The rules of endorsement are: 1. All endorsement should be made in ink only, even though law does not object to an endorsement being made in pencil, but still endorsements in pencil are liable to alteration, so they are discouraged. 2. An endorsement in black letter is not a regular endorsement. Example: John SMIH. 3. Where an endorsement happens to be in a language which the banker is not expected to know, then the paying banker can refuse the payment for its confirmation. 4. Endorsement must be completed by delivery of the instrument. 5. Signature of the endorser must be proper. If the endorser signs in block letters, it will not be considered a regular endorsement. 6. The endorser should spell his name in the same way as his name appears on the check or bill.